Hello children, sorry for the inconvenience created yesterday due to the downloading of the message or lesson. So today we will start. So even we are learning new things online. Yes. So now the first lesson is about reading and analysis of map. Yesterday I started about analysis and there was a break. So what do you mean by analysis? Even in the lessons also questions you have analyze. So analysis is nothing but you should know about it. First you read what was given and then you now what you have to do is you have to understand what is it about, and then you have to think about, you correlate your opinion about it, and then you have to come to a conclusion, that is called analysis. Now supposing now you have a dreadful problem now, that is corona, which is a pandemic, and then what is happening now when you are seeing, as from the beginning of March or the ending of March, when you see, we felt that it is very low in India, but as of now when you see, it is too high. So when you analyze from April to June 1st, then you can know many things. You can know whether it is increasing or decreasing, in which states it is increasing, why it is increasing, all these. So I just gave an example how to analyze things. So now we'll be knowing about maths, children. It's a huge big lesson, but only a few points are important here, whereas how maps were drawn first initially, and what is the changes that have been brought in the field of cartography. What is cartography? The art of making maps is called cartography, and the person who makes maps is called a cartographer. Okay, so in the process you must have not heard, but there is a person called Gerardus Mercator. He is from Netherlands. The people of Netherlands or Holland are called Dutch. So his contribution towards making maps, which is almost the same as the present day maps. Okay, so he is considered as a father of Dutch cartography. Okay, so here from the Britishers you have even Arab makers who are making maps, and some people are there who are mentioned in the textbook, like Ptolemy, who was a geographer, who was an astronomer. So based on those also he wrote many books, and based on that also maps were drawn later on. And you have Al-Idrisi, an Arab map maker, and then you have initially they used to use clay tablets. Clay tablets means clay. On that clay they used to do maps, and then first, why they encouraged drawing maps. We all know very well that earlier many places were not explored by the people, and kings used to encourage their people to go and explore new places, either for raw materials or to invade or for human resource. Okay, so what happened in the process when they were going on in the seas and all, when they came to identify new places or discover new places, they used to come back and draw maps, how that place was, or what are all available there, or again how to reach there, all these. And there is a comparison in the lesson also, as how maps were used earlier, for what purpose were they used earlier, and now how are they used. Now after we got this Google map, people stopped using maps. Okay, so earlier, that is, technology has improved, so we are using Google map. But earlier what used to happen is people used to draw the map, and initially when a person was asked to draw a map by his master or king, what used to happen, they used to keep their kingdom in the center and draw a map, the surrounding places and all. They wanted to know which places or which kingdoms were nearby, how they are, whether if they invade those places, would they be able to win over the war and occupy those places or not, what is the distance between the two places. Like this they used to use. And later, as time went on, from the ancient times till the Mughals or even the British, they used to have maps. Different types of maps were being drawn. Pictures are given in the textbook, children. You all can go through later when you get the textbooks. That is not that important. But when we consider maps, we have different types of maps. Physical maps are there, political maps are there, vegetative maps are there, agricultural maps are there, and even simply you have a route map also. Near every colony you have a board. Map of that colony will be given. How many houses are in which direction and all. So in the same way, when you talk about a map, in the present day situation, you have location of houses, location of places, okay, and conventional symbols are used in the map so that it will give information where what is located. Okay, and if you travel via how much distance you will reach a place. All these route maps and all different types of maps are there. So I think I kept the pages so that you can read, and you have projection of a map. Certain only important things I will tell you, children. So projection of a map is there. What is the projection? Projection means you project on a particular place. Now supposing Asia is there. In Asia, India is there. In India, you have Telangana map. In Telangana map, you have Hyderabad map. In Hyderabad, you have your colony map. In your colony map, in Google map, you will see your location, your house also. You can do. That is projection. And then you have thematic maps. What are thematic maps? Thematic maps are those which concentrate on only one aspect. That is called a thematic map. Okay, so it can be agriculture. Okay, so the theme is only agriculture, based on agriculture, in which state what type of crops are grown, or supposing you can have paddy growing states in India. So all those you can locate on a map. That gives you information about paddy growing states in India. Like that, you have district maps, and then you have even to the colony map also is there, children. Isn't it? Everywhere you know, and generally maps were used for three purposes. One is exploration. Exploring means going in search of new places. Then colonization. Colonization means when people go in search of new places for raw materials. If you go back once to your 7th class, you heard about industrialization and all. Industries were set up. Industries set up in European countries. Europe was first industrial continent, and even in that, Britain was, it was called as a workshop of the world. It is the first in industrialization. So they had industries and all, but raw materials were not sufficient. So for raw material purpose, they sent people to explore new places. And when they explored, when they went to new places, they saw that lot of raw materials were available. And then what used to happen, they used to go and occupy. In this process, they wanted maps. And when they occupied those places, they brought the raw materials to their countries, they made into goods, and again these goods were taken back and sold in those countries. So the main purpose was for colonization is search of raw materials and markets. After making the goods, where will they sell? So again they used to go back to those places and sell the goods. Okay, so after once the school reopens, children, then I will make you underline all the things. And one more thing is military. Why military people will use maps? Because these military, that is the army, works in extreme climatic conditions. Extreme climatic conditions may be on the borders of Punjab or Gujarat with Pakistan, Kashmir and all, and then Nepal, Bangladesh, China. Now we are having a border issue with China. So what will happen? Our people, they want food, they want weapons, they want medicines. So what will happen is, while coming, they sometimes, due to some climatic conditions, certain times they can't move their vehicles. So what will happen is they will use maps. And also at certain places they have code language which is used in maps. Only those people will know. When they decode it, they will get some information. Either maybe maps are there, or weapons are there, or food is there, or some people are there, like that. For different uses, military people use maps. And then there is a word, like how maps are used now. Now maps are used in different ways, children. Either for learning purpose or for location purpose. And nowadays, we are using Google Map. Okay, and then later they have given you, like, see, colors used in maps. Okay, colors used or symbols used. Now till your 6th and 7th classes you learned simple type of symbols used in maps, or only few colors used in maps. But now you have a wide range of colors. I will just read out, you just hear, and then later you can go through in the textbook, because you will know new colors which were used in the physical maps. Because generally we know brown for mountains, blue for water. Even in this water also, light blue for less depth water, that is shallow water, and dark blue for deep waters. Understood? So like that, I will just read you. See, dark green is for forest area, wherever forests are there, dark green will be there, and light green for grasslands. And then you have brown, land useful for agriculture. Yellow is for cropped area. Cropped area means where crops are grown is called cropped area. And then dark grey for mountains, light grey for hills, because high mountains will be there and less height will be hills. And then you have yellow again for plateaus and swamps, that is light yellow and dark yellow. Plateaus will be yellow, light red for wastelands, and light blue for tanks, rivers, canals, wells, etc. Dark blue for seas and oceans where depth of water will be more, and then white for places where minerals are available, and black for boundaries. It can be state boundaries or it can be international boundaries. Okay, so you have different colors, and then here the a table is given with different colors, children. You can go through that. And again after this you have one more related to maps. Here they have given the density of population, and India map is given. And here you have different conventional symbols used at present. So these are used by map makers. So what will happen is, for what they are being used, why they are used, all that you all know, because you can't write everything on the map. So these symbols are used. Okay, and then later you have about this density of population, because how density of population is used is, symbol index is given, children, for any information in a map. This index will help you for which color is used, or sometimes you have seen maps in your textbooks like shaded parts, straight lines, cross lines, or like mesh, both straight lines and horizontal lines are given. So that what will happen is, and for everything indication is given, that is index is given. So this type of a thing, wherever you see the map, it applies, that either the population is less or population is more, or whatever it is. Okay, so here again next you have presentation of relief features. Relief features means what, children? They have given different figures, children. I will just explain to you. Relief features are nothing but physical features. Now map itself is drawn on a plain surface, but what about relief features? Mountains are there means, can you draw like this on the paper? No. So what we will do, different colors are used to show the height, and that height is given as a index down. Understood? This color means this much height, this color means this much height above the sea level. And how the level is measured, sea level is measured, you have learnt in your 7th class. And then there are lines called counter lines. This also you know. What are counter lines? Counter lines are those which join the places which are on the same height. So they are also called as iso lines. Here definitions are also given, children. Like counter lines are the lines of map, that is the lines which are drawn on the map joining places of same height. Those are called as counter lines. And then finally, what do you mean by a atlas? An atlas is nothing but a book of maps. In that you have different types of maps, children. So after the lesson, after this session, you just go through the atlas, see how many types of maps are there. Especially for India, every aspect is given there. Agriculture, soils, minerals, forest area, like this, every map is given. Just see once. Then you will understand how many different types of maps are here. And even in the textbook also they have given you drainage, relief and drainage. Drainage means how many rivers are flowing through Telangana, and while flowing through Telangana outside, either they are coming from Maharashtra or they are going into Andhra Pradesh, from where, from which place they are going, and from which state, district they have entered into our state, all those are given. And this is the annual rainfall, and this is the index given, children, where you will have more rainfall, where you will have less rainfall. With the help of this, you will be able to analyze this map or read the map and come to a conclusion, like where, in which districts of Telangana rainfall is more or rainfall is less. Because see, they have given you high rainfall, low rainfall, or no rainfall at all. Understood? So based on that, you will be giving information. And remember, children, there are 33 districts. Okay, and again, see, this is a map, soils map. And again, which color denotes what is given here. Based on this, you will know. And then you have aerial photography. What is aerial photography? Aerial photography is nothing but going a little higher than the land, going into the air, that is going to a higher level and taking photography is called aerial photography. And then you have satellite imagery. What is satellite imagery? You all know that satellites are being sent into the space. When they are sent into the space, they have some motive. So they will take pictures and again send us back. So the pictures which are taken by satellites are called satellite images, and that is called as satellite imagery. Okay, so I'll just read out, you listen, children. Aerial photography is the technique of taking photographs of the ground from an elevated position. Elevated position means some height, using aircrafts, helicopters, or hot air balloons. That is moving away from the earth to some distance and taking photographs from there. And what is satellite imagery? See, satellite imageries are the photographs of the earth taken by the artificial satellites launched into the space. These are used in many ways: map making, planning, meteorology, forestry, warfare, etc. So you have climatic maps also seen in newspapers or television, etc., isn't it? That is taken from a satellite. Understood? So different types of maps are there, children. So I want you to read the lesson. Any doubt you can ask me. It's very simple. No need to worry about this lesson at all, because many pages are given only as to how maps were drawn by others in the early days. So no need, because if it is in the class, then we would have had a lot of time and we would have discussed. But this is more than enough. Okay, and regarding the notes or anything, I will tell you. We'll plan how to do it, then we can start once we'll get the notebooks. Okay, children, proper information will be given to you regarding the notebooks. Until then, you just today what all important things I have told you. What is aerial photography or satellite imagery? I'll keep the pics of the books and just write down the definitions of them and try to read the maps. Here Telangana maps are given. You try to read atlas. Or how many types of maps are given in the atlas? You just check out. Okay, children? Thank you.